Okay, welcome to the Bard College Forest. I am here to answer one of the most fundamental questions within our field. I see it on the forums all the time, and that is, Sasha, how do I ensure they forget about the billet? How do I ensure the billet is psychologically invisible, so by the end of the effect, when they try to rationalize what happened, that piece of information, not ever having written anything down, is gone, right? So they just have a straight line. I thought of something, he revealed what it was. How do I do that? Well, if you know me, you know you're bound to get a bit of a different answer, and this is a good one because it may just make you think, so pay attention. My answer is this. Why are you trying to rob your audience of entertainment? I mean it. Why are you trying to rob your audience of entertainment? Because that's exactly what you're doing if you're trying to make that billet psychologically invisible. Allow me to explain. Writing something down is mundane and uninteresting. I agree with that. But this is a problem we're creating because of method rather than an actual presentational problem. Writing something down within the context of a mind reader, a freaking mind reader, about to try to figure out what that is, merely a thought you just thought of, that's fascinating. Focus on the context that matters, and this is your understanding. We as performers, magicians and mentalists specifically, focus on the wrong context. And that is, we want them to remember, I thought of something, I wrote it down, I folded it up, it's in my hand, and he's going to try to figure out what that is. That's wrong. That's nowhere near as interesting as, you know what, it started off like every other day. I woke up a little late, went to work, boss was an asshole, again. Only had 5 minutes to get brunch, I went to McDonald's, I got tired, I was in the subway. All I wanted was to go home and watch Netflix and just relax. And then, I met a man. An interesting man who claimed he could do things that mimicked the impossible. A man who claimed he could make me rethink everything I thought I knew about reality within just 15 seconds. And you know what? He did. He read my mind. Here's what happened. And then they describe the effect, right? The effect is the cherry on top of the cake. It's the confirmation for them to remember, no, they're not crazy. That actually happened. Don't make that the focus. You want them to remember your encounter much more than whatever you showed them. Because context is 99% and content, what you show them, is 1. So, you have your understanding. Let me leave you with an action step, and I will go back to listening to Frank Ocean. Here are your action steps. Number 1, don't hide the billet, highlight it. Make it part of the fun. Have that mindset and your performance will change. Meaning, you want them to think of anything. And I just want you to change your mind. Perfect. It can be absolutely anything. Okay. I'm going to have you focus on this. So I'm going to give you a piece of paper and just write it down. Nice and bold just so you can reread it yourself. Perfect. I'm going to turn around the whole time. Focus on it. And now what I want you to do, this is going to sound a little odd. Fold it up into half and then quarters and put it in your fist and close your hand. What I need you to do is to focus on that piece of information, on the piece of paper and what's written on it. Focus on that, right? That reframe made it very specific that what we were focusing on was the piece of paper. You don't have to do that. You may not want to do that, but it did give the performance more depth. So, don't hide it, highlight it. The next action step, and this is important, and it's just my opinion, but think about it. Don't perform more than one effect involving a billet within the same show. Why? Because if you do, it becomes a theme, right? If you've ever read a book and you try to deconstruct it and analyze it, you're looking for themes. That's exactly what an audience member is doing when they watch your performance. They're looking for themes to grasp onto and to just dismiss the performance as nothing. This is if you're doing it wrong. Right? Because you ideally want people to just from the beginning of the show just have fun and not focus on it. But truth is, the mind is skeptical and we try to rationalize the impossible. Give them the least amount of themes possible and you can allow them to be engulfed in emotion much quicker. There you go. I will go back to listening to Frank Ocean. Subscribe, listen, go to the newsletter. All I ask if you enjoy these videos is you go and check out the newsletter. It's linked in the bio. Much love.